It's 1946, actually doing this close contact with the poorest of the poor. But before that, it was a vocation. From the time I was 12 years old.
12.
That calling to belong to Jesus.
Now, at that time you were in Skopje in Yugoslavia, where you were born.
With my own people.
Was it difficult to leave your people?
That was the sacrifice that Christ asked of us, no? That because we were a very happy and very united family. But God asked for the sacrifice from my people and from me. I think my mother was a very holy woman, and so she imparted that love for God and love for the neighbor very much into all her children's hearts. I didn't leave home till I was 18. And then I got in contact with some of our missionaries in India. I went to India in 1929 and finished my novitiate and vows. And I was with the Loreto nuns for 20 years in India.
Mother, were you a good teacher?
I couldn't tell you. I think you'll have to ask those whom I taught.
Did you enjoy teaching?
But I loved teaching. I loved teaching.
Now, back in India 20 years later, when you got the feeling that you had to do something else, you had to go out...
I didn't have to give up anything because vocation is belonging to Christ. And the work is only a means to put our love for Christ into action. And so I had only to change, so to say, the way of work, the means I had to change to work for the poorest of the poor. So my vocation was a continuation of belonging to Christ and being only His. The new congregation, I took the vows of the new congregation of love, poverty, chastity, obedience, and charity. I picked up the first person from the street, and I found a woman lying in the street, eaten up by rats and so on. And I took her to the nearest hospital, and they didn't seem to want her there. But because I insisted so much, at last they took her in. And from there I decided that I will find a place for them myself and take care of them. Then I went to the municipality and I asked them for a place only, that the rest I would do myself for them. And we have been there for 22 years now, and we have picked over 29,000 people from the streets of Calcutta in this 22 years. You know, the first sisters to join were the students that I had taught in Loreto. The first group we were about 12 by the time the congregation was established. And since then, girls from all over the world have been. And that is the most beautiful part of these young girls, so fully dedicated and determined to give their all to Christ. And they are all very anxious to live that life of poverty, because for us it's very important. If we really want to know the poor, we must know what is poverty. And that's why in our society, poverty is our freedom and our strength. Because Jesus is only one, and I take Jesus at His word. He has said, "You did it to me." And so, take one person, individual person, one person at a time. We can serve only one at a time. We can love only one at a time. Yet the whole work, though it sounds so big and so much and all that, yet it is but only a drop in the ocean. But if we didn't do that little drop, that ocean would be one drop less. And so we have no reason to be despondent or discouraged or unhappy about it, because we are doing it to Jesus. So He had said, "I was hungry and you fed me."
So in each one you see
yes,
Jesus.
It is Jesus, because Jesus has said so. You did it to me. And that's why the poor more and more become the hope of salvation for mankind. Because I feel if the world today turns its back to the poor, I think they are turning their back to Christ. And He has shown such thoughtfulness and such kindness for our people in small details. And so we have no reason but to accept what He has said, that we are more important to Him than the birds of the air and the flowers of the garden.